Welcome back to AskAPop. Today we're talking about table for two, please. Okay, ain't it always funny how we start to plan stuff, and I figure God looking down with a chuckle and saying, well, bless his heart, with a smile on his face, as we think we've got it all under control. Well, that happens to me daily, sometimes with bigger things than others, but in the end, for someone who's trained in project management, pretty much the only thing I can guarantee is things ain't going to go to plan. But it's truly how we handle it when things go sideways that makes all the difference in the world. I was reminded of that yesterday in a huge way. You see, without getting into its specifics, it was an anniversary of something that happened a quarter of a century ago. I thought I had everything planned out. Yeah, I had my friends, my family, my beloved cat, and that was that. Hey, I'm a poet and didn't know it. I had my marriage that didn't work out, and I decided to buy the bachelor pad of my dreams. And, well, that's when things went a little bit sideways because it turns out that one of my best friends had a daughter that had just had an inner ear surgery, and she had stayed with some friends right after the surgery. Then after that, she went home, and this was her first weekend back home after that, staying with some friends. So I decided to go over and look in on her for my friend. I took her out for some chicken corn soup. We ended up spending several hours together. And through talking and spending those several hours, well, let's just say on the way home from that, I had a very awkward conversation with my friend because I was trying to figure out how to ask him if it was okay to ask his daughter out. He started laughing and saying that he'd been trying to figure out a way to get us together for a long time. Anyway, I'll spare you all the details, but God knew what he was doing and knew that cats weren't going to be the best companion for me or her. She already had two. And he also knew that her heart was ready. She was a widow. And he put us together without even either one of us knowing that we were the other half of each other. Now, I can't imagine what my life would have been like without her being in it for the last half of my life. And I cannot imagine life, what life would be like if we hadn't built the life that we have together. Okay, now back to the start of this post. I had originally planned on a totally different post, but when I started looking for pictures for the post that I'd originally planned, everything started coming up in pairs. I'm sure that was his way of telling me what I really needed to post today. So may God, I'm sure he had that hand in it. And so may God bless you and your family as much as he's blessed us in this household each and every day. Bible verses today are 1 Peter 3, 8 through 12, and Proverbs 31, 10 through 31. As far as questions, how often do things go sideways in your life? And when they do, how do you handle them? Have you ever thought for a second that maybe that's just God's way of saying that he needs to put you on a different path? God bless you. Have a great day.